Can I lay by your side? Alabama, Arkansas, I do love my mom, but not the way that I...
This is the story of how former child Prodigy quietly separated from one of the biggest record labels in the world, beat a government broadcaster in an $11,000 standoff, and completely changed her industry trajectory this month. Reporting live on the independent rise of Jordan, we're looking at the exact sequence of events that redefined her career leading up to the March 2026 release of her latest independent album. To understand the sheer scale of the shift Jordan executed in the music industry recently, we have to examine her quiet departure from Republic Records in early 2025. Leaving behind the massive corporate machinery of a major label, she chose to navigate her career entirely on her own terms, which meant stepping away from the traditional path laid out for her. The decision to sever ties with the record label marked a massive turning point, setting the stage for a year of intense legal battles and a complete reinvention of her business model. What nobody expected was how effectively she would manage this transition, relying strictly on her family and her established to weather the storm and rebuild her musical empire from the ground up as a fully independent vocal artist. Tracing the origins of her massive global appeal requires looking back to 2014, when an 8-year-old Norwegian jazz pop prodigy first captured the attention of the public. Winning Norway's Got Talent was just a narrow victory for Jordan, but an absolute domination of the competition that secured a massive 46% of the public vote. Taking home a prize of 500,000 Norwegian krone, she firmly established herself as a national sensation almost overnight. Her early success created a powerful sense of nostalgia that continues to resonate with her audience today, laying the crucial foundation for her public image. Viewers immediately recognized an undeniable maturity in her vocal performances, contrasting sharply with her very young age and cementing her status as a standout talent within the European entertainment industry. And this is exactly where the initial seeds of her enduring mystique were planted, allowing her to command stages and capture audiences long before she ever attempted to cross over into the highly competitive United States music market, a move that would eventually challenge everything she knew about the traditional recording industry and how it operated. Beyond her undeniable vocal talent, the young artist cultivated a deeply personal trademark early on by choosing to perform completely barefoot on stage. Developing this unique tradition at just 6 years old, she adopted the practice to honor an impoverished, shoeless girl she met during her travels. Gave the young girl her own shoes right then and there, vowing never to perform with footwear until all children around the world have shoes of their own. Far from a calculated public relations strategy, this genuine act of empathy added a profound layer of authenticity to her growing artistic persona. Audiences connected not only with her music but with the deep sense of compassion driving her performances. Maintaining this barefoot promise throughout her entire career, she allowed fans to see the consistent, principled individual behind the powerful singing voice. The result was a fiercely loyal that viewed her as more than just an entertainer, establishing a deeply rooted connection that would prove entirely necessary when she eventually decided to break away from the established corporate structures of the modern music business to forge her own independent path years later. Crossing the Atlantic Ocean in 2020 completely transformed her career trajectory, introducing the Norwegian superstar to the massive United States market. Competing on the highly rated television program America's Got Talent, The Champions, her dark and jazzy rendition of the iconic Queen song Bohemian Rhapsody, immediately went viral across multiple social media platforms. Catching the direct attention of heavy hitters within the traditional music industry, the explosive stateside television appearance led to a highly coveted major label deal. Republic Records, operating under Chief Executive Officer Monty, officially signed the young vocalist to their prestigious roster. American Songwriter magazine prominently described her initial debut under the label as a momentous occasion, signaling her formal entry into the high-powered machinery of the mainstream American music business. But here is the thing about traditional label deals: they often restrict the creative control that artists crave. While the signing represented a massive milestone, it also placed her inside a rigid corporate system that ultimately conflicted with her desire for personal independence and direct creative oversight. The push toward total independence was immediately tested by a high-stakes controversy in early 2025 involving a major government broadcasting organization. Slated to compete in Norway's Grand, a highly publicized national qualifier event for the song contest, abruptly from the competition on January 6th. Initially, the devastating Los Angeles wildfires were cited publicly as the primary reason for her sudden and unexpected exit from the high-profile television event. However, her legal team eventually stepped forward to clarify that the situation was far more serious than a weather-related delay. Citing various personal and professional reasons for the withdrawal, The legal representative also revealed severe security concerns that actively included death threats against the artist. Navigating this dangerous situation required stepping completely out of the public spotlight, leaving fans and the media wondering about her safety and her professional future. The sudden cancellation sent shockwaves through the Norwegian entertainment sector, directly initiating a tense and hostile financial confrontation with the national broadcaster that lasted for months. Following the abrupt withdrawal from the national television broadcast, the Norwegian Broadcasting Corporation, commonly known as NRK, refused to let the issue disappear quietly. Demanding strict financial compensation for the expenses they had already incurred, the network attempted to recoup exactly 131,250 Norwegian krone, which translates to approximately $11,000. Network executives claimed this specific amount of money was legally owed to them to cover the accumulated costs of international travel arrangements and a custom designer dress created specifically for the performance. Facing down the powerful government broadcasting arm's legal team held a remarkably firm line during the negotiations. Arguing that no formal or binding contract had ever actually been signed between the independent artist and the television network, her lawyers entirely rejected the financial demands. For 7 agonizing months, Camp maintained absolute silence on the matter, strategically refusing to engage in a messy public media war. The standoff became a critical test of her new independent status, proving that she and her team were more than capable of handling high-pressure legal disputes. Refusing to feed the media frenzy proved to be an incredibly effective strategy, ultimately forcing the broadcasting network to back down completely. In September 2025, the government television arm officially dropped all their financial claims against the singer, ending the months-long legal standoff without a single dollar changing hands. Mads, the official project leader for the Grand, publicly conceded the dispute to the press. Noting that the network was closing the case out of respect for the young artist, his statement marked a silent, decisive victory for the newly independent musician. Beating the government broadcaster in the $11,000 standoff demonstrated her resilience and cemented her absolute control over her own career trajectory. With the draining legal dispute officially behind her, the artist immediately set her sights on the upcoming 2026 calendar year. Preparing to launch what many dedicated fans now consider her era of absolute artistic royalty, she focused her energy entirely on writing and producing new music on her own terms, completely free from the restrictive financial and creative constraints of the traditional corporate recording industry. Returning to the American stage on January 31, 2026, the artist headlined a massive concert event at the International Theater in Las Vegas. The hype surrounding her highly anticipated return was absolutely immense, capturing the attention of audiences worldwide. Highlighting her enduring mystique and incredibly high viewer retention appeal, a top fan comment on a viral February 2026 YouTube talent compilation video stated clearly that she has been a myth since she was 5 years old. That same wildly popular viral video featured another highly upvoted comment claiming she is singing royalty. While there is no official record of the artist ever releasing a song or an album titled Royalty during 2026, the phrase immediately stuck with the public. Functioning as a powerful metaphorical hook, the term perfectly described her undeniable vocal prowess and her commanding first month dominating the industry as a completely independent entity. Operating without the backing of a major label, she managed to sell out a major Las Vegas venue and generate massive organic buzz online, proving definitively that her dedicated was more than willing to follow her into this new, fiercely independent chapter. The era of independent musical royalty officially culminated on March 6, 2026, marking the exact release date of her studio album, Secret of Love. Clocking in at exactly 12 tracks with a total runtime of 48 minutes, the independently produced record represents a massive and total departure from her major label past. Releasing music under the brand new label name MOSARZ, which was officially trademarked and copyrighted in 2026, she effectively moved her entire music business operations strictly within her own family. The MOSARZ empire is a deeply personal endeavor, taking its title directly from the official artist name of, who happens to be grandmother. Even more incredibly, the lyrics featured on the recent independent albums are directly adapted from her grandmother's original poems, transforming the entire musical catalog into a profound, multi-generational family project. Keeping the creative and financial control securely within her own household, the artist eliminated the need for outside executives entirely, establishing a sustainable, family-run production model that completely bypasses the traditional gatekeepers of the global entertainment industry. Rejecting the expensive, traditional press tour normally funded by major corporate labels, the artist took the marketing of her new album directly into her own hands. Directly correlating with the highly anticipated March album launch, she conducted extensive hours-long live streaming sessions on both the TikTok and Instagram platforms on March 6th and 7th. Utilizing this grassroots, direct-to-fan engagement strategy to promote her 2026 releases allowed her to bypass the traditional industry gatekeepers entirely, speaking immediately to the people who actually buy her music. From a barefoot 8-year-old winning half the national votes, to a viral sensation navigating a massive government lawsuit, she has spent the last month proving that true longevity does not require playing by the established rules. Relying entirely on her family's poetry and an incredibly deep connection with her audience, she successfully executed one of the most fascinating industry shifts of the entire year. Leaving behind the safety net of Republic Records, Jordan redefined what it means to be a successful independent artist in the modern era, setting a powerful new standard for musical royalty on her very own terms.